Hi, it's Lori Seeley, functional medicine health coach. And today I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about food sensitivities. So, this has been a big focus for me for a while because it was really an issue that I wasn't aware of right away back when I was fighting Candida. And it really set me back not knowing about food sensitivities and their relationship to leaky gut. See, I was in a really good place. I was eating well. I was staying away from all the things that encouraged candida growth in the first place, but I didn't mindfully, purposely take all of the steps needed to repair my gut after removing food sensitivities, which caused me to develop new ones. And now I can't eat eggs, and I'm real sad about that. So I want you to avoid getting into that same situation because it is so totally not fun. So I broke this down into basically 5 steps. Okay. So step one, identify food sensitivities. I talked about this before. You can do like a blood test that you can order through your functional medicine doctor or through me. You can do that through a blood draw at a place like Quest or one of those places where you would go to normally get your blood tested, or you can do a different kind of a test that's like a finger prick, and you can do that at home. And then what you do is you do this little finger prick, and then you bleed onto this special card in different spots, and then you let it dry and you send it in to get it tested. Totally easy. There's also a simple at-home test, which is far less scientific, but no less accurate. And I talked about that a little while back in my blog, and I linked to it in the notes. Okay, so that's the one, how to test for food sensitivities at home. Okay. Oh, and I'm seeing that the link isn't working, so I'll redo that after I'm done recording this. Okay, so step two, remove sensitive foods from your diet. So you want to do this cold turkey for at least 4 months. And for help with what to eat during that time, because typically if you're taking away everything that you're sensitive to, you've got not such a big group of foods to choose from then. And so if you want to find some recipes to okay, what do I eat now? Search autoimmune paleo recipes and also vegan recipes. And that's where you're going to find some really good stuff that you can still eat while you're doing your sensitive food removal. Also, you can search my blog. I have some recipes on there too that might help you. Step three, remove pathogens from your body. So now that's going to include killing Candida, but also a lot of us with Candida, we have an oppressed immune system. And so you're not going to necessarily fight off all the many pathogens that enter your body at various times throughout the year, throughout the day, whatever. And so you're going to want to also take steps to kill those pathogens. You're going to have a lot of parasites, possibly. So I don't want to scare you. Maybe you'll have parasites. So you want to get tested for those things. Or, I do the Young Living Parasite Cleanse at least once a year just for good measure, because I find that it's really useful. You guys, if you have pets, if you walk outside with bare feet, if you eat out, you travel, chances are you picked up some kind of parasite along the way, and they're just hanging out in your body, messing with your gut, messing with your cognitive function, and they're probably part of the problem with the leaky gut and the food sensitivities. And so something that I use is the Young Living Para-Free, and that's just really easy to do. The directions are on the bottle and it works. So I highly recommend that, but your functional medicine doctor might have other ideas for you too. So remove pathogens from the body, definitely killing the Candida and possibly the parasites too, if you find that you have any. Okay, and then once you're at that point, you can carefully reintroduce the foods that you were sensitive to. This doesn't have to be a life sentence. That's the best part, right? So say you've stayed away cold turkey from all the things you're sensitive to for at least 4 months. And this is like, be honest with yourself, be good. 4 months, right? What you can do, this is something that's proven to work, you reintroduce one food at a time for 3 days at a time. So you don't want to introduce two foods at once, because then if you have reactions to it, you're not going to know which food you're reacting to. So that makes sense why you would do one food at a time. Also, food will stay in your body for up to 3 days at a time, and you won't necessarily feel a reaction to it until it gets to a certain part in your digestive tract, or until it gets to a certain part in your body. And so you want to wait 3 days. You want to wait until that food has completely passed out of your body, the first ingestion of it, 3 days after you start. So that's why you wait 3 days, because it stays in your body for 3 days. You might not have a reaction to it until 3 days after you first start eating it. So, and then during those 3 days, you do like a nice serving twice a day at least of the food that you're trying to reintroduce, okay? And then if you notice symptoms half an hour to 3 days after eating the food, then it's safe to say that it's too early to reintroduce that food. Wait another month or two and try it again. If you notice no symptoms, then yay, you are probably good to go ahead and safely eat that food again. So the symptoms that you may notice are like headache, fatigue, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, joint pain, and muscle pain. And there are other symptoms too. You know your body best. If something feels weird or off, you can trust that, For me, I've reintroduced lots of foods that I couldn't eat for a time, but I'll probably never eat an egg again without screaming diarrhea for 3 days afterwards. And I really love eggs, and I'm really sad about this. This is probably not the first time you heard me mention that, and it won't be the last. So then step 5, figure out new eating habits for your future. Some foods will never return into your diet. Common foods that are on that list of foods that might not ever return to your diet are things like wheat, dairy, eggs, soy, and corn, and also processed foods and processed sugar. So really, many of those foods aren't good for you anyway. Soy and corn are high in GMO. Wheat and dairy have been so bastardized in this modern age that they're not good for you anymore either. So it's probably good for most people to stay away from those foods anyway. But that's a whole subject for a different day, isn't it? And most veggies that you remove will probably be able to come back, right? So what you got to do is you figure out a balanced diet with all of the foods that you can tolerate now, which is going to be more than it was 4 months ago when you started removing those foods from the diet and when you were still fighting the Candida and the parasites, right? So yeah, so try to avoid the foods that encourage Candida growth in the first place, obviously, because that's how we avoid a flare-up in the future. And that'll cause more leaky gut, more food sensitivities. You only want to go through this once, right? And so you guys, for the full picture on Candida, leaky gut, everything we talked about here today, head over to my blog post, What to Do About Food Sensitivities, that I have linked in the notes. Okay, and have a great day. That's going to be it for today for me. I kept it short because I know you're all busy and you don't have time to listen to me babble on and on about this. So have a great day, and I will see you again next week.